Hello class, today we're going to learn about what and how to find maximum and minimum points on the function. So, for example, on this function, there's 2 points. This point on the higher end is the local max. This point on the lower end is the local min. So there's some ways and steps we use to find the point. So first, you need to find the first derivative of the function, f prime of x. Second, you need to solve for f prime x equals 0, which gives you the x's for the possible max and min points. Third, you're doing an interval chart for the x's that you just found. So, in an interval chart, you're supposed to draw a line and put on those x's onto the interval chart from smallest to biggest. And now, you need to find a number that is the left of x1, which means that it is smaller than x1. And then you need to find a number that's in between x1 and x2. Then you need to find a number that's bigger than x2. Now you need to sub in those numbers each by each back into your first derivative. And if the answer is positive, that means this interval is increasing. If the number of the answer is negative, then that means this interval is decreasing, which you can determine the max and min. If it's increase then decrease, then that means it's a max. If it's decrease then increase, then that means it's a min. So now you need to substitute the x's back into the original equation in order to find the corresponding y's, so you have complete max points and min points. Now, to enforce your learning, let's do an example. So, f of x equals 3x to the power of 5 minus 20x to the power of 3. This is going to be our original function. So first, you take the derivative of fx, which f prime of x would equal to 15x to the power of 4 minus 60x to the power of 2. Now, you're going to set the whole derivative equal to 0 and solve for your x's. First, you can factor out a 15x squared, and then you can do a difference of squares to find the rest two brackets. So your first x would be x equals 0, second x plus 2 equals 0, x equals negative 2, and then x equals to 2. These will be your 3 possible x's for max and min points. Now we're going to do an interval chart. So first you're going to put x is negative 2, and then x equals 0, and then x equals 2, smaller to largest. And then we're going to find a number that's smaller than x equals negative 2, which I chose to be negative 3. So now we're going to substitute x equals to negative 3 back into our derivative to find the increasing or decreasing interval. Well, the answer is positive, so this interval is increasing. Next, we're going to find a number between -2 and 0, which I will do -1. The same thing, substitute that back into your derivative and find the number, which it is a negative number. So that means this interval is decreasing. Now we're going to find some number between 0 and 2, which I say 1. Substitute that back into your derivative and find your number, which would be a negative number. So that means this interval between 0 and 2 is decreasing. Now the last, you're going to find a number that's more than 2, bigger than 2, which I say is 3. You substitute back into the same first derivative, do your calculations, and find the number, which it's a positive number. That means this interval is increasing. Now you can use arrows to represent if it's increasing or decreasing. So increasing, decreasing, decreasing, and increasing, which now we can determine if it's a max or a min point. So we can see that at -2, we are having a maximum point because it's increase and decrease. And at x equals 2, we're having a minimum point because it's decrease and then increase. So now you're going to substitute the x's like -2 and 2 back into the original equation to find the y's that's corresponding to them. So first, f of -2, and that would be 64. So this point would be -2, 64. And then you do the same thing to f of 2. Substitute it back to the original equation, and it's -64. So the point is 2, -64. So now you're going to write a answering statement that the maximum point of this function is at -2, 64, and the minimum point of this function is at +2, -64. So today we learned what is the maximum and minimum points of a function and how to find them. Hope you have learned something. Thank you and bye.